Hearing and noise is an issue for everyone, even people with normal hearing. It is a much bigger challenge for people who are hard of hearing. Hearing aids have made great strides in the past couple of decades. They do a fairly good job for communication from one person to another as long as they are close to each other. The microphone in the hearing aid picks up sound from about a 6-foot radius. Everything outside of that 6-foot radius is polluted with echoes of the original sound, background noise, and reverberation from the listening space. If a hearing aid user is listening to somebody within 6 feet, they're hearing the words directly from the sound source. If they are more than 6 feet away, they're actually hearing the echo of the voice. As the distance becomes larger, the echo becomes more prominent. If the noise in the room is significant, it will further degrade the hearing aid's ability to filter out non-essential sound. Most people with normal hearing are able to sort through the noise and focus on the words. But open spaces like auditoriums, churches, conference rooms, and theaters need assistive listening systems that bring the sound directly from the microphone or the sound source directly to the people that are hard of hearing. For this reason, the Americans with Disabilities Act revised the laws governing hearing assistance on March 15, 2012. The law dictates assistive listening devices must be provided in new assembly areas where audible communication is integral to the space. This means any space where people gather, from a boardroom to a movie theater, are required to have an assistive listening system. The number of hearing receivers is scaled to match the total occupancy of the venue. There are a number of different types of assistive listening systems. Infrared converts sound to light waves that are transmitted and picked up by individual receivers worn by people needing hearing assistance. The disadvantage of an infrared system is interrupting the light source keeps the sound from reaching the users. This can happen if the room is suddenly flooded with bright light that can cancel the signal, or if something blocks the infrared light source. The advantage of infrared systems is that they are very private. As long as a room is sealed, there's no way to listen in on the audio signal. The most common system uses radio waves that operate on a specific frequency within the FM band. It is basically a limited radio station that transmits the signal to a small transistor radio-like receiver. It works for facilities with one signal or more complex systems with many different meetings or signals. The number of different signals is only limited to the available frequencies within the FM band. The disadvantage of FM is that there is no privacy since the radio system transmits to a large, unconfined area. The frequencies are not acceptable in all countries, and the receiver is fairly large. The newest assistive listening system transmits the audio signal through the facility's Wi-Fi system. People use their smartphones with an app that connects to that particular signal. The disadvantage of this application is Wi-Fi is a very slow signal, so there is a noticeable lag or echo between the sound source and the receiver. Each person has to have the app installed on their phone to use the system, and each system will require a different app. Near-field magnetic induction is a very simple signal that connects hearing aids to each other. It can also connect the hearing aids to an intermediary device to connect them to Bluetooth devices like smartphones. Some hearing aids connect directly through Bluetooth to streaming devices like TVs, external microphones, and smartphones. Unfortunately, the battery drain is substantial, so it increases the hearing aid battery consumption or recharging frequency. Audio frequency hearing loop systems are created when an audio signal is combined with a magnetic field. Most basic hearing loop systems are created by installing an antenna wire around the listening area. A magnetic field is then created with a specialized audio amplifier connected to the antenna. There are specialized antennae that concentrate or modify the loop signal, and there are magnetic field generators that create the loop field. But we'll get into that technology later in this video. The hearing aid, cochlear device, or loop listener has T-coils that pick up the audio signal through the magnetic field. To keep this video simple, we'll only refer to hearing aids from this point, understanding they are not the only device that uses T-coils. T-coils are small wire windings that were originally put in hearing aids for use with telephones. The T-coil was designed to pick up the audio signal from the telephone speaker magnet rather than processing the audio wave into sound with the speaker and then picking it up with the microphone in the hearing aid. It provides a cleaner signal without feedback at the hearing aid. The power consumption is no different between the hearing aid microphone and T-coil. Some FM and infrared systems transmit their signal through neck loops that are then picked up by the T-coil in the hearing aid, rather than headphones or earbuds. Some of the advantages of loops over infrared or radio is that you don't have to wear a body pack with headphones. They work in transit situations like ticket counters and teller windows, and they operate on a universal frequency. They are quite different than the other assisted devices because they are hearing aid compatible and don't require putting an ALD on and off. Hearing loops deliver a personalized sound that is processed by the hearing aid, so it's customized to match a person's hearing loss. The hearing aid amplifies the loss or diminished frequencies and doesn't amplify what the person is hearing normally. With other devices that rely on headphones or earbuds, all frequencies are amplified, not just the ones that are needed by each individual. If a person only needs the high or low frequencies, they are overwhelmed by the unnecessary amplified sound that they are hearing normally. Vanity or shame makes some people not want to wear the body pack headphones and earbuds that make them look different. Others don't want to wear something on their head for sanitary or styling reasons. No one wants to go to the trouble of checking out an assisted device that may not work when they can simply change their hearing aid to the T-coil setting. There is no change in the current consumption in the hearing aid. Other assisted devices need batteries that need to be changed or recharged. Loops operate on the same frequencies around the world, unlike FM systems that are different in every area. Hearing loops can be installed in any size area.
Drank her himself with his children and his fathers. Jesus answered and said to her, "Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again. But whoever drinks the water I shall give will never thirst."
Multiple systems can be combined to cover large areas, or the systems can be compacted and confined to a chair or a counter by running multiple wraps of antenna around a smaller area. This reduces the width and length and increases the height of the signal. Every loop should be connected to a qualified hearing professional. Proper loop installation is critical, but that effort is wasted if the hearing aid of the listener is not adjusted properly. Teaming with a hearing professional benefits everyone. The users have access to a knowledgeable professional to ensure their hearing device is adjusted properly. The facility has an easy warning system if there are problems with the system. The user can alert the hearing professional. The hearing professional receives free publicity to everyone using the hearing loop. Many wise hearing professionals provide home hearing loops to their patients. This ensures the satisfaction of the hearing aid and reduces returns. Studies have proven that hearing aids paired with home and public hearing loops dramatically increase the patient's satisfaction with the loop experience and the hearing aid. Home loops promote more public loops. If the hearing aid user is satisfied with their home loop, they will advocate hearing loops in larger facilities they frequent. The hearing aid user is your best sales force. They're motivated by need and not driven by sales, so they are more likely to get the attention of the facility people that make decisions about assistive listening devices. When hearing practices provide loops in public facilities, they receive exposure to the patients that frequent the building. Hearing professionals that provide home loops opens the door to commercial loops. Hearing Center-sponsored commercial loops provide access to more potential patients. Everyone wins.
Hearing Loops Incorporated is more than just a manufacturing company. My wife is an audiologist, and through her practice, we discovered hearing loops and started giving them to her patients, and found that it was such an incredible reaction that it helped them so much to be able to function in areas that they just couldn't hear in before.
Many of my peers, the hearing healthcare professionals across the country, all of us could have some dialogue about technology, but nobody was really comfortable about what to do next with it. So I started using my patients as a beta test group. What is the experience? When you are exposed to looping, what is the satisfaction level? What was interesting is, just like Peg Simon's practice, people began to talk about it in the community. People start talking about the practice, people start talking about you as being that complete hearing healthcare professional, and it differentiates you from the professionals across the country, and certainly in your backyard.
We still have a hearing center in our factory. That gives us the ability to understand what's going on outside in people's lives and how hearing loops are actually functioning and helping them, so that we can develop better and better products to be able to serve the people that are ultimately going to need them. The factory is in West Michigan. It's in a small farming community. All of our suppliers are within 60 miles of us. You come into a community like this and you have all of these dedicated, wonderful people that have their feet on the ground, that understand what a hard day's work is like, and are willing to give you everything that they have to help you go forward. People told me when I started this business that I was crazy for trying to make this product in the United States. Most of our competitors are importing those products from factories that are overseas. We're actually one of the very few companies that still completely manufacture our own product. We're one of the only companies that still put components on boards and solder them together. That allows us to manage our quality in a way that none of our competitors can. The end result is we have a product that is a few generations ahead of everybody else in the industry.
So what we have developed is a full team of people, from the beginning of the manufacturing through the marketing, support, and training that helps individuals at their place of business. And the result is extraordinary.
We remind ourselves every time we have a meeting that the reason that we exist is to help people hear better. And that's our mission and that's our goal. Having that goal makes us successful no matter what.